in the cabbage.
Well, let's get it.
Test.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to In the Cabbage. This is crazy.
This is pretty bananas right now that we're actually doing this.
I'm Tommy Swain, Andrew Witt. Please subscribe, please listen, please download, like. And just a reminder, keep swinging. Welcome back to In the Cabbage. I'm your boy, Tommy Swam. To my right, or your left, Andrew Witt.
Hey, what up?
Welcome back. We're alive. For those who maybe don't know.
I know you missed us.
Yeah. We missed you just as much as, you missed us. But for those who don't know, Andrew and I caught food poisoning together from eating a beef wrap on a local Chinese spot across the street. And I don't think I've ever been sicker. My stomach was in World War II. My stomach acid was like something from a nightmare.
Fuck Mama Lou.
Yeah. Mama Lou.
She did us real dirty.
I don't know what's up with you and your beef wraps. I don't want to speculate what's going on in that kitchen, but let me tell you, that's not from this earth. Because the stuff that was happening in my stomach.
We were battling some demons in there.
I mean, at some points we were texting each other like, is this ever going to end?
Yeah, I felt permanent.
I felt like I was... We're running on like the 72nd hour of this thing of just literally might as well have just been peeing water out of our butts for 72 hours. I'm like, this is never ending. I mean, to the point where it's like, Lord, you're just saying prayers. You know, like when you're in a really bad situation.
I don't even know who I'm praying to.
Right. You're just sitting there and you're like, God, please. If you can make this end, I don't know what I'll do. I'll give up Starburst. I'll give up candy. If you could just make this end. He didn't make it end. He let that thing right out fully.
Yeah, there were whatever we promised and whatever we'd say we'd give up, he called bullshit. Yeah. You're fucking dealing with this.
Yeah, write it out, baby. That's what you get for eating a beef wrap. And then I had like gastritis on top of it too, which was just...
That's no fun.
Murderous.
I don't even know how you got that.
I mean, drinking.
Yeah, you name it. Sure.
Halloween party, awful food, pizza, wings. I mean, anything under the sun, basically.
You also just have some crazy stomach acid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm basically a dragon. That's so bad.
You're like that big, I don't know, like that chemical bath.
Yeah,
there we go. The vat, the chemical vat.
Yeah.
You're throwing like a corpse in there and then bones float up to the top.
And like a little dust cloud. That's what it feels like. I feel like at just some point my stomach acid is just going to burn through my stomach and it's just going to fall out.
Oh, it happened though.
Yeah.
It did.
It's tough for your boys sometimes out here. But anyway, some of my household chores, like when I'm down, all chores, that I do just stop. And like the house has to be held on because she's taking care of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Like now
someone's got to make that chicken broth and rice dish.
Yeah, for the third night in a row. That's all I ate. I mean, I would have like toast,
applesauce,
a bunch of shout out to applesauce. I don't know where I went wrong and I stopped eating it, but shout out to applesauce because that.
Are you buying applesauce right now?
My stock is in applesauce.
Yeah,
because it was just life-saving.
It was really good.
And it's sugary and it's got fiber in it. And you're like, man, this could be heaven sent from above with this one little treat here. But some our bigger chores we need to get done, like getting rid of our like table in the back and stuff like that, which we finally did. I called like a junk guy. I saw his ad. He was driving around with his truck. Like a number on the back, take a picture of it, give him a call. It's very nonchalant.
Mm-hmm.
I get like you're a home business and stuff, but like when you're this nonchalant, it gets worrisome for me.
Yeah, like there's no sort of like formality to it. It's just kind of like, I'll just be by anytime on the 28th. And then like if I don't make it, then I'll be by on the 30th.
Yeah, you're like, there's like no confirmation to what's going on. He answers the phone and goes, hey. That's always jarring. You're like, no, hey, this is J&J's junk removal. Like, what's going on?
Right.
You know, like, it was just, hey. I'm like, is this, I saw like a sign. He's like, yeah. Text him. He's like, sure, I'll be there tomorrow at whatever, 2. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you want pictures of the items? He's like, no, just call it 60. We're good. Whatever you got. All right. Well, that's not how it normally works. Normally, they want pictures of the items. Do you know how much they weigh? Because they all got to bring it to the junkyard for profit.
Well, yeah. And then also, you got to know what the hell you're actually picking up.
Right.
Like, it could be just tons and tons and tons of stuff.
Right. He didn't know.
Thank goodness it's just a table and a couple chairs.
He asked me. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I got. So
okay.
He calls me and he parks in the wrong section of like my complex.
Of course.
Which
Your complex is confusing.
Totally. And I told him not to park there, and he's supposed to whip it around. He whips it around. See him drive past my street. I'm like, oh. I call him, doesn't answer. So I walk up, I call him again, he doesn't answer. And I see him flip a Yui, come back down, wave at him. He waves back, just keeps driving past me, turns left at the light. And I'm like, okay, he's got a truck. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable just whipping in like that. And then I wait 5 minutes, call him again. Now it's like 3 or 4 calls in a row, no call back. Text again.
I mean, he's clearly here to pick up your stuff. Like, why can't he just pick up the damn phone? Right. You're clearly trying to help him out.
And so eventually I just go back inside. I'm like, dude, this guy is not coming back. And he just ghosts me the rest of the day, bro. Doesn't call me back, doesn't text me. He was here and just goes.
That's bizarre.
Oh, I know. I felt like a stood up date. I'm like, you were here. You called me. So then at that point,
he just didn't like what he saw.
He didn't like what he saw. Hello, what's up, dude? That was so
you sent off weird vibes with that wave at him, I guess.
Yeah, he was like, I'm out. Oh, that's crazy to me. It's like, okay, clearly there's a reason why you're doing this as a job, because you have no sign of like sort of. I just texted him like, you know what? Apparently this is a joke.
Maybe he had a stomach flu. Maybe he had to go take a shit.
Yeah, he had Mama Lou's too, and he had to call it quits quickly. And I was like, okay, clearly, I kind of texted him like, so clearly you're not coming back. Like, I found somebody else for the job who's much more professional. Thanks.
Oh, you hit him with a text.
Yeah.
Papa's not holding back.
No, I mean, like, he has my address, which may be a little sketchy, but that's crazy. Like, crazy for you to be here, me tell you that you're in the wrong spot, like kindly, and then for you just to like ghost me and like make me wait. For you to like,
sure. I mean, you could have been like taking time off work. You could have like had to drive home, whatever. Like, I'm sure you were working from home that day.
Yeah, and
so no big deal. But you know, it's the formality of it, right? It's saying that you're there and then you're just bailing,
right? And I know you're here. Like, I saw you. You drove past me. I waved at you. You clearly just don't want to answer your phone. But anyways, it was just funny to be a little, little fly on the wall for getting ditched on a date or something. Sure. It was a nice little thing. Before we got sick though, little golf was played. You, me, Chris, and Cam went to a 4-man scramble on my birthday. We didn't really bring it up because we were just cooking on the last podcast so much that thought we'd talk about it here. A blast. I mean, if you guys haven't done a 4-man scramble with your buddies, it's always a good time to get out there and mix it up.
I forget how much fun they are.
Yeah, when you play with your friends.
Yeah, you forget how much fun they are in the way that you can be part of a team in the golf setting.
Totally.
Which is awesome. And like just, the 2-man events are awesome. I love those more than the singles because then, again, you're playing with someone, you're playing for someone. Even when you're playing bad, you can't just really, give up essentially because sometimes the golf course, as we know, can really steal your lunch money out there and ruin your day. And so you can't just fold it in and just and give up. You still got that that person to fight for. But the 4-man scramble is really electric because then you can get some team celebration going. You got everyone working for a common goal is obviously just to go as low as possible out there.
And it's just such a different environment too. Like you're truly cheering for somebody else. Like when you hit a good shot, I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm like, well, fuck.
Right. Right.
Like, I gotta match that. Like there's definitely, I'm excited for you more than not because we're not in the same flight. It's not my cash you're, taken from. But
For sure.
Still, you're actually genuinely excited. Felt like the team was pretty even across all sides of how we were contributing to the team. The driver, was immaculate.
Driver was cooking that, Dave. I was hitting the ball pretty well.
Very far. A
couple approach shots were kind of nice from the shorter distance that were pretty muddy. And you were really diming us. The flat stick was just red hot.
Yeah, Chris and I's flat stick was just cooking for the team.
It was unreal. And the way we did it was we made a little switch up in the round, but you ended up putting second.
Right.
After hole 8?
Yeah, we did a mid.
Hole 7 was when we started switching it up. Actually,
yeah, mid tournament switch because the boys started off real slow. Vibes were down. We stole a birdie. Chris stole an absolute birdie.
Yeah, we needed 2 under through 6.
Yeah,
that's what we were.
And then the boys turned it on with the switch. We ended up switching up orders and irons. Switched up the order with putting, and that helped out.
We never looked back
tremendously. Cam with some, absolute
clutch. Clutch.
Like
iron.
no one on the green, no shot as even being close to even looking at something.
That's 8 feet.
8 feet, yeah. 10 feet.
Stuffs it in
middle of the green to give us a 2-putt to get us out of there. We steal one. Multiple times that happened. And Chris just bombing putts.
He had a guy, he had about, 2 30-footers?
Yeah.
Just dropped one in for eagle from 35, 40 feet, dude. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, he made
double breaker down the hill, just center of the cup, perfectly weighted.
Yeah, the flat stick for Chris was just so hot. And of course his long irons, and his irons are always just super reliable. It was just a blast to go do. It was a fun little birthday. Then we went back and had some Heritage Barbecue.
Yeah, dude.
Which is a Michelin star barbecue place.
Legit.
That is local to us in San Juan Capistrano.
That's we've talked about food on here quite a bit, but talking about perfecting or making something to the fullest or to its best form. Really the couple things is boil and bake was the other one that we talked about where
which I had.
Oh, well, we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
How did you love it?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I walked in. I got a couple.
Oh, yeah. You ended up getting a dozen bagels when you went over and hung out at your mom's. That's right.
I did that. We did some sandwiches, different sandwiches.
Okay.
Madison got one that was a pickled tomato, thicker bacon, chive, cream cheese. And it was just it's perfect. And what you're getting for the price is actually not that bad either. I think a sandwich there is $13.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's a homemade bagel, hyper local.
Yeah, it's locally sourced.
Right.
They know where the eggs are coming from. They pick the farm. They cure their own salmon. Yeah. They make their own sausage in house. There's a lot going into it.
Yeah, this isn't just a mom walk-in shitty bagel place. Right. I love bagels or whatever. This is a legit bagel place.
They're going all out for it, so that's cool. Did you like it as much as maybe I did? I was giving it some really high praise.
I thought it was great, really, really good. I would have to go back when I'm kind of just me have a sandwich, kind of check it out more. It was awesome. It's the best bagels I've had.
Yeah. Hands down, right?
Right.
It's tough to do bagels out here for whatever reason. We don't have a really good bagel spot. And I got one that we just opened up, that boil and bake. It's a 5-minute drive from my place.
Right. And then I've had homemade bagels in New York because it's not so uncommon in New York.
Right.
They do a lot more homemade doughs and drops. So I've had really good bagels and cream cheese before, but it's just nice to have something finally that's local. Bagels are always good. I don't know how great a bagel can be.
Sure.
At the end of the day, I would agree with the same thing with bread. Bread's always great. Bread's always good. Mm-hmm. There's really great bread, homemade stuff, homemade butter. That's an elevated, but it's also not
it's not going to change your life.
Right. So I feel a bagel can be similar in that aspect. Best bagel sandwich I've had for sure. Best bagels locally, no doubt. I would definitely go back. It's an amazing place. I wouldn't say it's like,
It's not Heritage Barbecue.
Yeah.
Slap you around kind of food.
Yeah, I think Boyle could get a Michelin star.
They're amazing at what they do.
I think
they could certainly be on the list.
It's also just breakfast. It can only be so much,
Mm-hmm.
Where Heritage Barbecue, like we had, is just crazy. Guy went and learned Texas style barbecue from Texas, came here during COVID, opened up his shop. He does like California takes on barbecue. So it'll be like hatch green chili mac and cheese with like brisket beans and stuff like that.
He also does some doesn't he do Mexican style and barbecue kind of hybrid, like a little combo together? Doesn't he do tacos?
He does tacos. He does a lot of sandwiches and banh mi. So he's kind of changing the game definitely here in Orange County. There's a couple places like that in LA. But the lines are slammed and they're far and few between LA as well. This guy's killing it. The place is always slammed. There's always a good vibe.
Even during the week, dude.
Yeah.
I've heard people wait in line. You have to get there whatever. I don't know off the top of my head, but it opens up at 11. You got to be there like at 10:30 during the week.
Just do the pickup.
Yeah, the pickup is great.
Just do the pickup.
Madison was all time and had the perfect amount of food, like a pound of every single meat or whatever it was. And we got a little spread of everything, got to try everything. And is the pickup literally just you place it online and then you just go into the window?
And just pick it up. You just don't get some of the specialty items.
Which
so
is
if
fine.
you're looking to get a taco, you're not going to get a taco. If you're looking to get a banh mi, you're not going to be able to get a banh mi. But you can get the mac and cheese, the beans, like the coleslaw, the potato salad.
Great. That's, the meat and potatoes of the whole thing.
You made coleslaw for us, which was fire. Coleslaw doesn't get any better than that.
It was, I love that recipe.
It's really great. With the green apple is just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
If you making coleslaw is such a better experience than us buying or getting it from anywhere.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's fun too. It's easy to throw together and then you can kind of customize it however you want, because for me, I'm kind of a little bit, I'm picky when it comes to coleslaw.
Yeah,
me personally.
It needs to have some bite. It can't be too creamy. It's got to be crunchy. It's got to bring something.
Yeah, when it's the all mayo situation for me, it might as, I don't want any of it.
Yeah, mayo.
Get it out.
A lot of mayo for me in general is tough.
Yeah.
I don't love
You know why?
Mayo.
It's because it's got an eggy taste. That's what it is, dude. It's got an eggy taste. Right? Yeah, when you have mayo on a sandwich, I can taste, quote, like the egg, essentially. Because I don't usually eat a lot of mayo, and then I throw it on heavy on a sandwich. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of mayo going on in there.
Yeah, it's not my favorite topping. You got to put it on there. Mm-hmm. Especially for a drier sandwich, you got to do it. And it's such a great vehicle for other flavors.
Totally.
That's what I use it for.
Sure. Give me a Chipotle aioli, though.
Oh, yeah. I love how they call it aioli. You throw mayo into something, and now it's an aioli.
Right.
You're like a Chipotle aioli fire. I'll throw pickled onions in it with salt and pepper.
Sure.
And cup.
Oh, bomb. So, San Juan's Capistrano, dude. That spot is slinging out some ridiculous barbecue.
What a great place it would be to live down there.
Yeah, it'd be really fun.
It's like, if whoever hasn't been there, all of our listeners have been there. It's not like we're talking to somebody from Australia.
Yeah, if you're visiting from out of the area, hopefully one day maybe you pop this episode in. Who knows? Give us a like and follow, and you won't miss any more content.
Like and follow, subscribe into the cabbage on all major platforms. Actually, this is a good time for a little ad break. Top Notch Salon. For all your hair cutting needs, please visit Vicky Hatter for a 10% off discount code. And as she really does distribute the best haircuts, men's, women's, young, old. She's got it all. She's a great person to talk to. Please visit Vicky Hatter as she helps us stay in California.
Love that.
Top Notch Salon.
Love that, buddy. Love that.
You got a little ad for us over here?
And the Cabbage is brought to you by Johnny Walker. The black label, the red label, the blue label, you name it all. Just like in the Cabbage Pod, we cover all the topics, and they got a taste for you. Whatever you want, whatever you need, they got it at all times.
What's your favorite label?
Live bold, live generously.
Wow.
Johnny Walker.
You're a blue guy.
I wish. I ain't got it like that.
You're a blue guy
Fuck,
for sure.
bro. A bottle of that, I think, is like $250.
Yeah, and at that point, I don't know how worth it is.
$150? It's a lot. I don't know. There's also the green label. There's also the gold label. And like, I'm a black label.
Right.
That's your standard 12-year aged Scotch.
$40, $50.
It's I mean, for a bottle of it, it's about $35.
There you go.
If you get it on sale, you get it for like $20.
Yeah,
that's
it's better
great.
than some of the stuff over there I got.
You know, you could just have it. I don't know. I like drier finishes with my whiskey with my alcohol.
I like my whiskey with cranberry.
The maraschino. You're just there for the maraschino cherries.
I'm there for the maraschino cherries.
You like a Manhattan?
Love Manhattan.
You love those.
Love old fashions.
That's a rye whiskey. You know, I'm a big fan of that. But if we're just gonna have it straight, I love a Johnny Walker. You can have 3-4 drinks of that, no problem. Then it's not over the top for me.
Man!
If I'm going to divulge, and we're coming into the winter months here, so who knows? But yeah, if you're traveling in the area, get your haircut by Vicky over at Top Notch, and go get yourself some Heritage Barbecue, and check out the San Juan Hills or San Juan Capistrano, because it's a cool little area down there.
Absolutely, it's like a mission. Like one of the California's oldest missions.
Super vibey
is down there, right in the middle of the city. It's great.
Really good bakeries.
Awesome bakeries, awesome restaurants, really amazing Mexican food.
Mm-hmm.
Great coffee shops. It's just definitely, but the homes are going to cost you, 1.5 mil, no problem. Close your eyes, throw a rock, hit something. It's 1.5 mil. I make a joke actually recently. If you leave that garage door, the fee is $100.
Yeah.
And it's just the new Orange County tax fee.
Everything is just so goddamn expensive. This thing, every time you step out that door,
it's $100. I always tell Madison, if you leave this place, it needs to be worth it, because it's going to cost you $100, guaranteed, wherever you're going.
Careful, you pull up your phone, you don't leave, you might drop $100 on Postmates.
Oh, yeah. So now it's just like, at this point, it's just ridiculous. It's like $100 fee. I was talking to the guy who's doing like my junk removal, the second company I called.
Uh-huh.
We're joking around. He's like, man, I'm bringing my wife on vacation for her birthday, and we're just going to go to my dad's house. It's like, that's going to be in Idlewild, which is like a, country area. You're going to go ATVing and stuff. He's
sure.
Like, I would love to bring her somewhere else, but I can't find a break right now. I'm like, buddy, I leave here. It's $100. And guess how much I'm giving you right now? $100.
Did you actually say that?
Like, you got my $100 for the day. He started to laugh. But, shout out local businesses. That doesn't hurt as bad, sometimes for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I can't stand going into Target and walking out of that place with like 160. Makes me want to jump off a roof.
Yeah, dude, it's tough.
I guess at that point you're like, what's in here? What? I remember like when my parents would go and spending $100 down on something was like monumental.
It was a big deal.
Like, that's $100.
Big deal.
That's all of our money.
I remember it was like one Christmas in particular, we're trying to get like razors, right?
Oh yeah.
And when razors were a thing,
yeah,
those were $99.99. And I was like, I don't know. I don't even, and I wanted the one with the little like, spoiler on it, but the one like the, the wheelie prevention, and it was like $129. I was like, too expensive.
That's
way too much.
Made of money. When those razors would kick back and hit you in the shin.
Oh my God. We played the dumbest game growing up, but it was so much fun.
What was it? Just spin the razor in a circle and jump over it?
No, that's stupidity.
That's just murder.
Yeah.
What was your
I wouldn't
here?
have shits if we played that. No, we played razor soccer.
That's you have enough people in the neighborhood to do that?
Yeah. In our cul-de-sac.
I feel like you grew up in a really cool cul-de-sac.
It was fun. We had buddies at the end, Dieners actually at the other end. On the non-cul-de-sac side, then we had like the VRAGs, and we had a couple of buddies over, and then now we're cooking with like 8 people.
That's great. That's
4-on-4, like razor soccer.
I didn't really have a crazy cul-de-sac like that.
The cul-de-sac was great. It was really fun when we were growing up because we played a lot of like cops and robbers. We played a lot of like freeze tag, hide and go seek. We played a ton of that stuff all the time.
Do you ever see kids doing that type of stuff anymore? I bet you if you went in your cul-de-sac, I bet you kids are still doing that.
I mean, to a certain extent, but everyone's just, throwing down on Fortnite. And
yeah, why would you go play kick the can when you can go inside and...
What a legendary game Kick the Can is.
Kick the Can was a great one.
Great one. Kick the Can. See, you know what? I love all those games. But like, when you have the ease of hopping online and just game with your buddies, it's a really good, fun alternative.
I mean, it's great. As soon as we got into video games, it was game over for a majority of our
but we were also playing high school sports. But like when you're younger, I sometimes break it up a little bit.
Go out and shoot some hoops. Go play pool basketball all the time. Game with buddies.
Toothpick,
great.
Unbelievable game.
Ping pong if someone's got a table.
Yeah, that's great. I can spend, give me an afternoon around there.
Beer pong when you get into high school.
Yeah.
Played so much beer pong.
We played way too much. I'm so over it. You got me for maybe a game.
It's just so much beer pong.
Quite frankly, I don't really even care. I don't have the attention span for it.
Not anymore.
Just don't.
Not anymore. Especially when you both are playing bad.
We play, when we're both playing bad. Just
when the other team's playing bad and they're clanking, you're clanking. Then it gets. I like playing the way we play, which is essentially just vanilla. No bounces, balls back, same cup, 3 cup.
Yeah,
1 island per person.
I'm a big 4-corner guy.
I don't like 4 corners.
Not titties. 4 corners.
Yeah, 4 corners not my thing. Where you like shoot and pass, too much movement.
That's fun. I'm gonna do it. I need rapid fire.
Yeah, too much movement. I don't like the rapid fire on that aspect. I like beer die is probably the best one now for a beer.
Yeah,
game.
that is solid. That's solid.
Beer die is a good one. That takes forever too. But then you get people way more athletic than me willing to sacrifice their body.
Laying out on concrete.
I'm not willing to do it.
No.
Yeah. Switching gears here, talking about some athletic things. Let's talk about the most athletic, maybe not athletic person of all time, but me and argue, which would be Wemby on the Spurs right now.
Yeah.
Making his NBA debuts and update, like he's not letting anyone down. I think he's exactly where people thought he would be coming into the league. He looks great.
It almost looks like he's I think he's like overachieving right now. A little bit. The dude's 19.
Dude, that's crazy to think about.
The dude is 19 years old.
That's crazy to think about.
He's a freshman in college, technically.
Yeah, I think he's doing great. He's been called the next LeBron James of a sport, so you'd hope that man comes in and does that type of stuff. But being 19, you forget how young he is from how tall he is.
Yeah, totally.
For whatever reason.
The dude's been acting like he's 25 years old from the age of like 16 because was growing up playing professional basketball over in France, and he's getting media trained and like he's going to like class for that stuff.
Oh, your full-time job's that now.
Yeah.
You don't go to normal school anymore. You get homeschooled, you barely do the work. The rest of it's basketball year round. It's media
tons
training.
Of rehab. It's because you're growing so much, you need to do tons of stretching, tons of rehab, tons.
He's extremely flexible.
The dude can like touch his heels.
That's crazy.
So flexible.
And I think that's just the prototypical next tall athlete. You're like long the days of like an unathletic big man not moving, because it's a very simple recipe. You just need to be extremely flexible. Mm-hmm. And you have to work at it. It's not just like wake up out of your bed, 10 minutes of stretching. He probably does
easy.
2 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say easy hour every day on just like mobility, range of motion.
Yeah. Probably means basically a yogi.
He's working on his body probably 2 to 3 hours every day.
Just as much as he's working on his game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
His day probably is like 8 hours ball.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something right because the man is coming out firing. I heard a stat actually. He is the most efficient fourth quarter player in the NBA right now.
At 19 years old?
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying.
It's like clutch. He's shooting like 68% from the field. He's blocked, whatever he's doing, however they
measuring matrix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know how they figure it out, but points scored and blocks and all these kinds of stuff. He's the most efficient player rating in the fourth quarter right now in the NBA.
I mean, being 19 years old and doing that and having moving out of your country and
he also
into the limelight.
Yeah, it's nuts. And he also went up against Kevin Durant, which is probably one of his most, highly thought after.
It's probably his guy.
Yeah, it's the guy he talks about resembling his game based off of Kevin Durant. And he goes to work on this man.
Yeah, he does. He does put his work in, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I mean, it kind of didn't poop on Durant, but those Spurs beat the Suns. I was watching some highlights and stuff, but it's crazy.
Suns are a good team this year. They're going to be really scary.
Yeah, they are. Well, they didn't have Bradley Beal. They didn't have Booker when they were playing him, but still, the Suns overall are just really solid.
It's going to be fun to watch them come down the line here in the playoffs.
Do you think, I know it's super early, but why not, throw a little take out there? Where do you think if Wemby can keep this up and relatively injury free for until the age of 32 or whatever, where do you see him kind of landing? Is he gonna how many championships? How great is he gonna be?
I think he needs to get off Popovich's team.
Yeah,
I don't think the Spurs are the organization that can house a talent like this. I think it's great for his early career success. I don't think he'll be very successful in his early career. I don't see the Spurs even getting close to a championship.
I mean, they're terrible.
They're terrible.
It's no knock on the Spurs, but they're awful.
I mean, so I just don't think the coach Popovich is the guy anymore. He needs to get to a organization that can support his talent and have the capital behind them to pay him plus other people. That's a very small market. So I could see him struggling for the next 3 to 4 years pretty heavily, unless the Spurs make a great in-season trade.
Sure, I mean he might dominate though and bring a couple guys to him, or he might be just quietly putting up 25 and 14 for the next 2 to 3 years.
Right, which easy. 32, he'll be a Hall of Famer if he keeps it up where he's at.
Yeah,
he'll have a couple. I don't think he'll have more than LeBron or MJ.
Okay.
I don't think it's even possible anymore. I don't know. It's hard to think of that a team can be that dominant and a player can be that crazy again.
It might depend on how much money he takes. If he takes up a ton of the cap space,
they're not going to be.
It's going to be really tough to formulate a team around. If he truly cares about just winning, like he says he does,
then he'll take a cut.
Right, but it's different when you're getting that million dollar contract.
I think at 26 he'll be so rich that at that point he could just be I'll take a hit.
Sure.
At 26 he'll be so filthy rich it won't even matter. I think he needs to go to Golden State.
I would love to see him over at Miami Heat.
He would be another great one
with Spoelstra.
I mean, I would love to say the Lakers, but there's no chance he becomes a Laker. It's just the Lakers can't get players like that anymore. Even though it would be perfect, the pressure of it might be too crazy. I don't see him in Boston.
Doesn't seem like a Boston guy.
I would say Golden State and Miami.
Be cool.
Miami would be great because it's a bit more of a diversity.
Mm-hmm.
The coach is great. The GM's great. They've had insane superstars.
They just know how to deal with. Yeah, they know how to deal with egos, superstars, fame.
Who doesn't love media market?
Yep.
It's not as crazy as LA though. I mean, let's talk about this real quick. Why can't the Lakers and LA in general seem to mass the attention for athletes as we once did? The Lakers are getting older, but. I mean, we had our time in the sun. AD isn't has never been the second best player in the NBA, and at the time definitely wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, massive talent, but out of his prime. even though he's playing insane still and is very much an amazing player, but when he came to the Lakers was not LeBron of old.
Yeah.
Dodgers can't get a championship going. Angels suck. Ducks are finally turning it around, but like it feels like the LA market is especially the Lakers having a hard time like attracting people to it.
Yeah, I didn't actually think about that, and that's kind of happened for a while now.
It's been going on where like people just don't want to be a Laker, and I don't know if but they're okay with being a Clipper.
I don't know.
So that tells you something. It's like, hey, well, is it LA or is it the Lakers? And why can't the Lakers? I mean, we're the top 2 organization in basketball.
Yeah,
Celtic Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
You could argue it's one of the biggest teams in the world.
Sure.
Yankees, Lakers, Dallas.
Yeah. No, totally.
It just doesn't make sense to me why we can't get some people.
I mean, we can speculate all we want, but I just have no idea. And whenever we get players, we seem to always get them when they're 34 years old, not 27.
Yeah. In their prime, ready to go, happy to be here. We haven't had like our coach. Like Miami has their coach. All these organizations have their coach. We haven't had our coach since Phil.
Yeah, I know.
It's been tough, and I don't think Ham is the guy either for the job right now. And
no.
I don't know if that's on him. It's so hard to coach LeBron, which is historically one of the problems. But I just don't. They're just not coming out hot. They don't seem that they want to play for him.
Yeah, I know. We don't do. I saw another stat today. We're like down. I think down 80 teams are outscoring us in the first quarter.
Yeah,
it's
we
something
can't shoot threes.
Something absurd.
And why can't and it's just Lakers go through a year where the coach comes in, we do a great job, then he falls off the next. I just don't think Ham is the coach. I think he'll be a great coach once he leaves the Lakers. He'll find a team that he can invest his young talent in, and he'll grow. It's like classic Lakers.
It's tough. I feel like you gotta find a guy for the job, and you gotta stick with it. I think the turnover rate is part of the problem.
Turnover rate can't shoot threes. We start out cold, we give the ball away, and we get down to a deficit, and then it's 2-man.
Sorry, I was talking like the turnover rate for like coaches.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like it takes a couple years to get your full system going, get the guys you need to play in your system, and then to actually have it come to fruition. So this is year 3 now for Darvin Ham, right? Or is this year 2?
This is year 2.
This is year 2 for Darvin Ham.
Yeah, year 2.
So if Darvin Ham's the guy and you like him that much, regardless of what we think, like we got to stick with him for like at least 4 years.
Give him another couple.
Well, you got to give him like that's part of the problem I think with some of these like sports, franchises. If you truly think that this guy is the guy to lead your team to a championship or at least get you to he took us to the West Conference Finals last year.
Yeah, but it's just like they sucked before that and we squeaked in.
Right.
And his rotations have never been good. He's never had great rotations. Even in the playoffs, there was issues.
Yeah. No doubt. If I'm saying, if you after this year, if you think that it's him, then I think that's where you got to commit.
You got to commit.
You got to commit.
We got to find a coach. We just don't. I don't think we have a coach with that X factor.
Yeah, it's true.
Like I don't know. But you can tell when a good coach comes into your building. There's something about it. There's an energy on the team. Consistent play. When you have those type of people in the building.
I mean, while we're on the subject, is we can just roll right on over to the Raiders because that's a little hot topic right now.
Absolutely.
With
Josh McDaniels getting fired, yep. Ex-Patriot, Belichick guy.
A guy that you just don't want leading your team. He's clearly not that guy.
He's no good at all.
Fired, and they also fired the GM, fired the head coach, and then actually kind of cool thing is that Antonio Pierce, he was coaching the linebackers at the time, but grew up over in the LA area, over in the Orange County area. And I know your brother was like playing some football with his son.
Yeah, his son was a baller, if you were wondering. how good his son was.
I'm sure.
I think that Timmy's team was
the Cowboys.
The Cowboys, and at that time they were the best kids team.
Yeah,
they were undefeated. They never lost a game. They were balling. Meanwhile, my team couldn't win a game. Never won a
Did you play for the Cowboys?
Yeah, twice.
Oh wow, I didn't really know that you played for. I know you played tackle when you were younger, not for the Cowboys though.
Yeah, I played for the Cowboys, which I now realize is like a very elite.
Yeah. Oh, it's top of the line.
Yeah, very elite football team. Like,
it's not really going out there and you're going for fun. You're going out there and you're cracking helmets at like the age of 9, 10.
Yeah, it was tough.
Oklahoma drill.
Yeah.
And you have to also make weight as well.
Yeah, there was cuts.
There's like weight limits and like there's.
Did you play Cowboys?
No. Parents wouldn't let me.
That's such a great call by your dad and your
and
mom.
And also, my brother played, but yeah, I also just didn't have a big interest in it when I was growing up like that.
Yeah, you have to really. I don't know. My dad just threw me in it. I'm sure maybe as a kid I was like, I want to play football. I want to play football. But of course, when they saw me, they ate me up. I started offense and defense.
Great on the line.
On the line, of course.
Not out wide?
Not out wide with like other, very athletic, darker skinned people playing wide receiver corners on our team. I was like one of the, token white kids on the line and stuff like that. I just remember our teams being monsters, but my like middle school team was awful. We got crushed. We sucked. We were one of the worst teams in the league. I don't think we won a game during the season. But then playoffs came because everyone makes playoffs.
You guys turn it up?
We beat the number 1 seed.
Oh, my God.
It was like Crenshaw.
Damn.
Or something, which is just insane. Our running back couldn't be stopped. He ran probably like 175 yards that day and like 2 tutties or 3 tutties or something.
Special. So really cool. But yeah, anyways, that was a good little segue down memory lane.
There you go.
Anthony Pierce... his pops, Antonio Pierce. It's just kind of cool to see a local legend actually, manning a franchise.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Steps in, and the entire team seemed to actually have like much more of a gravitational pull. They actually looked like they wanted to play. It was like I don't know what the score was at halftime, but I remember looking at it, I thought it was like 21-0 when they're playing the
boys
Giants.
Were buzzing. And they should be. They have a really good team.
Dude, the Raiders have an unbelievable team.
They have a really good all-time running back, 2 amazing wide receivers. Their quarterback now looked great. The rookie they brought in.
O'Connell
looked great, commanding the offense really well multiple times, did some shifts, and just did it perfectly. 5-yard out to Devontae Adams. Just let him catch the ball and let him work another 2 or 3 yards for you every time with that stiff arm.
And because their D-line and their defense in general is just pretty damn solid. I know
Crosby out there, maybe defensive player of the year.
I think so. The dude is a menace. He doesn't come off the field.
No, he's all time. I just was listening to a podcast with him on it about.
Was it the
Bussin' with the Boys guys? Shout out to Bussin'.
I started listening to that today, actually.
Great podcast. One of the rumors going around that is McDaniels and the new head coach. The head coach brought up the Giants being the Patriots, and I guess McDaniels told him not to bring up the Patriots in the middle of the meeting. And that's when everyone was like, all right, dude. Like, it's time for him to hit the road. I guess he said the talks were extremely tough and very emotional, and some of the most real talks he's ever had in his life. Is what Max Crosby said about the team meeting. I heard rumors that there was players and coaches saying they don't like seeing his face in the morning, the head coach.
We're talking about Josh McDaniels?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Wow.
You could tell they just don't play football the way it currently is. He's never been a good coach. Even when they brought him on, he wasn't a good coach. He did awful as the last organizations he even helped out.
Terrible, yeah.
Just an awful signing for a market that arguably could be one of the biggest in sports right now. Vegas was buzzing as a market.
They really are. And they got a brand new stadium.
Stadium's awesome, right in the heart of Las Vegas.
They got the Golden Knights over there that are absolutely
crushing
everyone in the league.
Besides the Ducks.
Yeah, baby.
Quack, quack.
Come on now.
They gave him an L.
And they also have the F1 race that's coming over there. So Vegas is really coming up big right now.
They're bringing baseball, guaranteed soon.
Yeah.
And then they're going to bring a basketball team. So they're just legitimately the Sphere, which I've been in Vegas too, has been voted like one of the best.
Have you seen some of those clips, dude?
Yeah, crazy. It's been voted one of the best things USA has ever built in like a century or a decade.
Oh my God, that thing is special.
Like we just haven't built anything cool in a really long time. We just popped this out into a awesome area. Vegas is slowly becoming a place I'm ready to move to.
Yeah, you've been saying it.
I'm ready to become a desert rat. Catch me in Vegas. I'll be a country club member.
You go to a basketball team out there. You put a basketball team out there. That is, you might as well just head on out.
Head on out. That'd be my second team behind the Lakers. It'd be great.
Sports betting all the time.
Oh, not have to worry about these apps. Just become a hockey sports bettor is all I'm going to do. To be honest, your boy is red hot in hockey.
Cooking.
I mean, hitting like 14 parlays with my eyes closed.
Yeah. No, you laugh. I'm laughing, but we were you were 2 teams away out of the 14-team parlay.
Yeah.
What was it? $1 down?
$1 down to win like
$2,000?
$2,000. And we were like 2 teams off.
Missed on 2 of them.
I know. It's just crazy. It's cool to see. I don't know what it is when a head coach gets fired and the boys are buzzing. It's crazy to see that because you're like, wow, that guy really caused some issues for that team.
I think the head coaching position really does. I know it doesn't get overlooked for us because we can kind of maybe pick up on that. I mean, the head coach is such a huge, crucial part of any team. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah,
even if it's baseball.
Yeah, it's the
manager. It's the presence. It's the aura. It's the culture. It's how you go about your business every day.
Totally.
How you feel about your job. Like it really resonates through and through. So
it is a very important position for that. But who do you think out of major sports teams, who's the head coach the most important in? Like football to me is number 1. The head coach is insanely important. Followed up that with hockey, basketball, baseball.
Basketball's got to be up there because you could turn a fairly average team and you could turn them into a good to great team. Let's talk about the Miami Heat, what they did last year.
Yeah, if you have a really good coach, Spoelstra, he can basically bring a bunch of dogs and rabid beasts out and
I mean, they're still
get them to the playoffs.
Still professional players, but
you throw anyone in front of that man, I feel like
he's going to make it work.
He can make it work.
Yeah, he knows how to get the most out of his players. So
it's like Phil used to be able to do that. Steve Kerr right now can do that. I feel like you put anyone in Golden State right now, they can basically get to the playoffs. Now, will they always be the same team? No. But it's just, it's cool to see head coaches like that do well. And I'm glad the Raiders are a fun organization right now. So it's nice to see them get going a little bit. Personally.
Agreed. I thought it was also a really cool interaction as well when the whole Josh Dobbs trade was happening this past week as well.
Oh, another great story.
And what a cool story for a guy to get traded midweek on Tuesday. He flies into Minnesota from Arizona, and Kevin O'Connell is coaching this guy up. And I don't know, I heard a quote saying do you even know who these guys' names are and everything? He's like, that's for next week.
Right.
And Kevin O'Connell sits down and teaches them the entire playbook, and he's putting in all these extra hours and working super hard. Starts the game on Sunday, throws a game-winning touchdown drive with 6 seconds left.
Dog.
To go up on the Falcons.
Dog.
Unreal move by him. And I don't know, he's a very, very intelligent guy. Did you know that he's also part of NASA, and he does
he got selected to do a mission next year,
aerospace engineering and stuff like that. It's incredible what he's able to do.
Some guys just have it all, huh?
Really do.
It's awesome to see him come in and do so well, and he's kind of been a journeyman already.
Yep. A lot of quarterbacks are if you're not elite.
Yeah, if you're not elite and have a team that's willing to commit, and even then, even if you are elite, it can really also just matter about who you have on your team at that point, who your coach is. Does this organization fit with how you want to play? Because I feel like the Bears right now have something like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, I feel like if you put Justin Fields on any other team, he'd be balling out right now.
He's actually gone out to the press and said that they're not coaching me very well, and they're asking me to do things that I am not comfortable with doing.
Right.
And then they basically made him apologize on TV.
Yeah, he had to go back, and it's crazy that you have to but he played it right. He's like, I am your quarterback. I am a superstar talent, and I'm letting you know that these guys are blowing it. And then they kind of changed it a little bit, but they still suck. I hope he gets to a different team. But back to Dobbs. This maybe, if he does well at this place, this could cement him as a journeyman permanently, always making a couple of milli, maybe less, maybe close to a milli, being on different teams. If your guy goes down, you have a great backup.
For sure.
I don't know if he's a starter. We'll have to see how the rest of the year goes with a really decent team, because Arizona is awful. You can't really get a good look at what's going on there.
Arizona is just a big old pile of garbage. Welcome back, Kyler Murray. Well, have fun dealing with that, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Maybe he comes back, though, and he balls out and shows you how good he is.
Sure. I know they were having some issues with the head coach in the past couple of years, but I don't know if Josh Dobbs is a starter. Well, yeah, I think we're going to see that unfold over the next couple of weeks here, but I think you're right, buddy. I think he can cement himself. If Kirk Cousins ends up coming back, I think he's going to be 36 after this year. Kirk is.
Wow.
It's,
doesn't come back, I think they'd be, if he can hold the team together and the head coach likes him, it's going to be tough but I feel like Kirk could go somewhere else and have a great, end of his career.
2-3 years. Totally.
Give him a chance at a title. Maybe get him to LA, go play for the Rams. Chargers got their boys. Chargers buzzing last night after beating the Jets. Defense looks huge. Great. We're flying around to the ball. Who's that safety or
Derwin James?
Oh my God, that man's crazy.
Yeah, there's a reason why he only plays like 70% of the football games out of a season.
Yeah, man, just flies to the ball.
He's no regard for his body.
Zero. He's just gonna fly to the ball. And he's going to throw his head into something.
Enemy or friendly. He's coming in there with his head down and just coming in to blow something up.
Yeah, something's happened. That man's lowering his shoulders. Someone's breaking something.
It's crazy. So I love him. The Joey Bosa last night was unbelievable.
Played an unbelievable game last night.
He was really flying in. Khalil Mack was balling. And then Tui Pelote is also an unbelievable pickup for us. The D-line looked amazing. The secondary, we have our issues, but Derwin James was looking great last night on just sideline to sideline, making some run stops as well, too. So it was just crazy. I love that. Love that for
maybe
us.
A new offensive coordinator. Maybe that's what we need. I know you like our guy.
We just got a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but he doesn't look like he's really getting the boys going here. I know Herbie's still hurt, but it's not looking,
I know. Is it the offensive coordinator or is it
weapons?
Yeah, or is it the weapons?
We're missing some weapons, you think? Missing some boys?
We got Keenan. He's great. Quentin Johnson, he's a vertical guy. Great. We need a guy that's going to, be a little bit more all around. That's like a 5'10", 5'11" size, shifty and quick and fast.
Just giving you the yards, giving you some catches.
That's Keenan Allen for us. That's great, but we're going to need another Keenan Allen. We're going to he's 31.
Yeah, you need a Keenan Allen who can move.
We need a Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Let's lock up a Garrett Wilson. Let's lock up Jamar Chase.
Oh, great.
Let's lock one of those guys.
Yeah, you throw it in an area. And then you get Keenan as your second and Quentin Johnson as your third option. That'd be great. Not a bad problem to have for sure.
So, I don't know. I don't know if Staley's the guy.
Who's that?
That's our head coach. Yeah,
right.
I don't know. We'll see how it. We'll see what the next upcoming weeks unfold here, because I feel like we got a little bit more life. It was a must win for the boys. And thank God we got it too, because it was awesome. But we got Lions coming up, and then we got Ravens coming up the week after. And so
Ravens are buzzing. They look like they could win it all right now.
They really do. They're a really solid team, and I think people are still looking past the Lions. I think the Lions are really good. I think they're
Ravens.
They're a top 10 football team, and obviously you got the Chiefs, you got the Bills, you got the 49ers, you got the Bengals. You got the Dolphins.
The Dolphins too. It's gonna be a fun little playoff. A lot of really good teams this year. No one insanely dominant, which, besides maybe the Ravens, but who knows with that?
Any given week. Who knows?
It's going to be fun to see a little playoff football, a little playoff ball.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Actually, one last thing here. I wanted to say I watched a couple animated movies over the weekend. I watched Ninja Turtles, the new one, and I watched the new Spider-Man animated movie. Let me tell you, they are great movies. Whoever's doing the animation, the storylines of it, is just really doing a great job. The music selected, the nostalgia you feel. Like, you just get different looks for it because it's animated. So it's been great.
I was never big on the Ninja Turtles when I was growing up. That wasn't huge for me. I don't know what was grabbing my attention elsewhere. Maybe I was a Mario guy.
A Mario guy. I don't know. I liked the storyline of the Ninja Turtles. It was a good movie, but I didn't love... Because the typical Ninja Turtles movie, TV show back in the day was like them being like actually trained, very skilled ninjas from a mouse who like somehow lived at a dojo or...
but now lives in the sewers.
Or learned it and then got touched by the goo and turned into a monster. This was like the rat was, their dad was like a scared rat. And that's not how he portrayed him in the cartoon. So it didn't portray as well, but it's still great. I heard a little line from this animated Spider-Man movie that made me cry, though.
Really?
It gave me a little bar for a parent. I don't know. I'm resonating with parents a bit more now. The older I get, I'm like, my mom was at this age. My dad was at this age. Like, do I feel like right now I could handle a kid? It's like, no. And I'm sure my parents felt very similarly. The long and the short of it is Spider-Man's about to make like some big decisions. He's 15 years old. And the parents can tell that their son is starting to drift. He's starting to become an adult, starting to do his own things, make his own decisions.
Right.
That's when life kind of starts getting a little scary as a parent, I assume. Because now it's like hands off completely. 16, 17, 18, that's when things get,
Yeah, I'm sure
serious.
handing over the keys and you got your license, you're like, hey, I want to be back. I just got to be back before curfew.
Right. You don't see him anymore. They could keep you out of our life for the most part. So anyways, the mom's having a speech with her son who's about to embark on this new journey.
Sure.
And she goes, can you imagine like raising a kid for 15 years, and every day you take care of this kid, and they can't do anything without you. They can't like eat, they can't breathe, and you just know, and they become your best friend, and you love them. And I did everything in my power to make sure this 15-year-old was taken care of. And now it's your responsibility to take care of this 15-year-old.
Oh.
And I was like, right in the feels. Like, and now it's your job to like make sure this 15-year-old understands it's like welcomed and loved. And you need to now take the person.
She is telling this to who?
Her son. She's like saying to her son, like, now it's your responsibility to take care of this little kid that I've been taking care of for so long.
I see.
And it's such a great analogy for what parents must feel. Was like, now it's your job to take care of the kid I've been taking care of for 15 years, doing a great job at it. So please don't fuck it up. Like, please, like, take care of yourself.
Got it.
Like, I love you. Like, you should feel it. And I was like, damn, just the way the mom was laying the bars out on me hit me right at the right moment.
No,
I had a belly full of pasta. And the Sunday scaries were hitting.
No, that's actually
it's a really cool way.
That's a really good way of thinking about it. I've never thought about it like that before.
It's like it's your job for for this kid to feel loved.
Damn.
It's your job to like let him feel welcomed. Now it's your job to take care of you.
You kind of lost me, as I thought she was handing her son over to whatever, a school or whatever, but she was talking to him in third person. Got it.
She's like,
that's where you lost me a little bit.
But. Yeah, like now she's talking to her son. She's like, now it's your job to take care of us. And that must be, I mean, it's like a speech I want to give my kids one day. It made that much like impact. You can like, I could feel it. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy little thing.
I started. I haven't added to this in a while, but I started a note section, and just whenever, for whatever reason, I started a note section. It's called like Munchkins or Little Ones or something like that, and it's just like very simple, very simplistic, like one-liners of just like a lesson that I thought maybe would be like very, very crucial or beneficial. To say to my kid eventually, and I just I have a running note section of it. I haven't added it to a while. I think I only have like 3 things written on there, and I can't even tell you what it is off the top of my head. You know, something like, don't ever let an opportunity, small or large, like, you know, treat it all the same.
That's what I kind of
like opportunity. For
sure.
That doesn't matter what it is. You know, something like that.
You never know what it could be.
Right.
Like, that's what my brother just clocked into his first time full-time job, you know, and was telling me, he's like, wow, this sucks. And I'm like, yeah, man, I remember like clocking into like your first 9 to 5. You know, I was in college when it happened. It kind of jars you. It kind of rattles you a bit because you kind of realize now you're this person, and it's going to happen to the foreseeable future. And I think, wish I would have done as a kid, been like, tell myself that doesn't matter what opportunity you're currently in, you can make it what you want of it. You just have to work extremely hard. And I was kind of trying to tell him that, like, this, you know, this isn't your life.
Turn it into a positive, take a positive spin on it.
Because this isn't who you're going to be, but you need the experience to grow. And I said, it's only going to get better. And he's like, why is that? Because like, you're going to grow in your career. You're going to grow in your experience. It's going to get better because you're going to find routine, and you'll learn to love a routine. Like, you'll learn to love to like work out on Monday nights and then go see your best friend. And you'll learn to love to like record a podcast on Tuesday, and you'll look forward to these things, and you grow into an adult, and it seems awful in the moment. I just like
mundane,
boring, you know, but you'll find, and I told him just,
you find opportunity for growth in career. Maybe you stress yourself out and overcome an adversity. Maybe you have to give presentations and you're terrified of that. You work on your social skills. You work on creating new connections at work, outside of work. You cherish more time. You cherish your time outside of your work more.
You start to really fall in love with the little things in life.
Sure.
I think that's kind of what it is to be an adult. You just learn to, you know, when you're a kid, you don't need to like cherish the little moments because everything's so big and massive because it's all new. And you think this is just going to be how your life is. And then the older you get, you realize it's not. And so when you have these moments, you do these things, you learn to appreciate it way more. Like going on vacations or seeing your friends or doing their certain things is always more important now. So kind of trying to tell them that, you know, I think those like one-liners are cool. What else you got in the Munchkin list?
Yeah, I don't know. I've you know, I gotta add to that. Actually, it's been a little while. Maybe we only have 2 things.
You ever do you and Kay ever do this like game where you're like, what if our kid said this to us? How would you handle it?
I've done it a couple of times to her. Again, like a while back ago when I was just starting to entertain the idea of kids, and it's interesting because we didn't like quite land exactly on it the same. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Mass and I are, like there's some things we have different answers on.
Sure. And it's like, how do you go about it? How much information do you tell them? How little? What do they do with it? I feel like it's going to be just as we're now realizing it, because the more you're thinking about adults and relating a little bit, It's just as much as a learning experience as it is for them as it is for you.
It is crazy to think about. Your parents legitimately have no clue going into it, and you just expect them to have it fully down.
Right.
I remember talking to some of these with Madison, and we have some core things we both believe in, which is great. We completely agree that the kids need to be doing something at all times. They can't just like kick it. Sports, clubs, whatever. If they're really great education, then extra classes education wise, if that's something they love to do.
Yeah.
It just has to be extra. Nothing. It's no like going to school and coming home and doing nothing after homework.
Right.
There's gotta be extra juice. We both agree on martial arts at a young age. I think it's extremely important. I think it's I want them to do jujitsu. I think it's really, really important. It brings a lot of confidence in the kid.
And morals.
Yeah, really strict morals, understanding of body control, and temperament work. Because, some grown man chokes you out one time, you kind of realize like where you're at in the totem pole of things. And then soccer at a young age.
Okay.
We want him to or her to learn how to get lungs early, which was my big thing. I feel like when you play soccer, you run so much more than any other sport. Like baseball, you kind of sit still in. Basketball, you kind of just follow the ball around.
Right.
Soccer, you're still following the ball around, but the field's bigger and kids are running around. And
sure,
knowing our kid looks stuck in the goal though, and he'll be playing patty cake in it.
I think it builds a lot of character.
For sure.
It's the mental grind. I think I think Katie can also agree with this, and I'll just throw it out there. But finishing what you started is a big one. Is a big one for me.
Big one.
If you make a commitment and you make a commitment to a team,
gotta finish it, no matter how much you hate it.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you hate it. It doesn't matter. It's not about you.
Right.
Being
big one for me.
Being selfless.
Yeah.
So like that's a big core belief, and I'm sure that's going to be Katie too. But
for sure.
So no, I really haven't had that conversation. What do you got? Is that the main ones?
That one. We handle
soccer.
Yeah, like something tennis, golf. What happens if our kid doesn't like sports? Because my family is all sports. It was all sports all the time. She's like, well, my family wasn't like that. So what happens if our kid doesn't like sports?
Bananas.
Be hard for me not to believe it because I'll be so into sports that our kids are naturally going to fall in love with it because how much I love it.
Right. I mean,
it's hard for me not to believe that.
Growing up watching basketball, football, hockey.
Right.
All the time.
That's all we're going to do.
Golf.
Like if the kids are home, the sports will be on, or I'll be on my phone watching sports, and that's how it was. But if our kids didn't play sports, I wouldn't care. As long as they had something they were passionate about, I would just become passionate about that thing with them. Because that's just who I am as a person.
Sure.
It's not hard for me to find passion in something.
Right.
So
doesn't matter. You can find love for skateboarding and sumo wrestling, and it doesn't matter what it is, bro. I'm sure
I can find a niche and I'll enjoy it. Like it could be fashion designing, it could be something crocheting, it could be whatever this person can throw at me. Like debate club, I'll look up the best debaters in the world and I'll start.
Right.
So to
obsessing over it.
That isn't. We've had some talks about how I handle certain situations. I'm finding out I'm not a very emotionally mature person when it comes to certain responses.
Okay.
I do a lot of suck it up. It's a big one for me. So, had some talks about when it's appropriate to suck it up and when it's not appropriate to suck it up. So, overall, my approach from my family has been suck it up, period. So,
you got a nail through your foot? Suck it up.
Oh, yeah.
You broke your ankle? Let's throw some fucking tape on it. Suck it up. Go back in there. Rub some dirt on it. That's a classic response.
Classic response from my dad. I remember he'd slap my ankle every once in a while, too, when he'd tie my shoe, as a joke. I wasn't actually that hurt. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I don't think he recognized his son wasn't paying at times, but I loved it. And looking back at it, I love that now. Like being instilled in that. There's not a lot I can't push through.
mean, there is a time and place for it.
For sure. And that's what my,
that's your rebuttal back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And she agreed. She's like, yeah, I could see why you would want to install that into some people. And I'm like, yeah, it's a time and place for everything. Now I need to be better with the time and places. But, it was just so funny. One that was so funny for me, but, isn't that big of a deal. No crying in sports.
I was going to say what I'm going to ask about what is the most meaningful or most beneficial thing that maybe your parents taught you, like when you were playing sports. Was it a toughness? Was it a gritted out? Was it a...
Yeah, I wasn't that athletic. My dad, I even know my parents drove me to everything and did everything. There was no my dad didn't have any insight really in basketball besides get physical.
Yeah.
And my mom never played any sports like that. So she was just an ultimate support system, but no one really had any tangible, real advice for me. So a lot of it was toughness. Mm-hmm. A lot of it was you can, get in there and just fight for an opportunity no matter what, was
right.
more my vibe. And if whatever I was doing, I could fight through it and fight through the pain and be a part. And no matter what they do, I can get through it. Was probably the best thing they taught me. My work ethic wasn't very great, but I don't know if I even knew people were getting up extra shots and it meant something after sports or actually putting in an extra workout. I thought what I was doing, genuinely, if I went back and I asked someone are you think you're doing enough? I've been yeah. And I genuinely thought that. I go to practice every day. I'm practice for 2.5 hours every day, 5 days a week. It's well, that's not really how much you would need to practice. I need to do I need to put in 2 hours of basketball practice, an hour of shooting after the gym, and an extra workout.
Sure.
For me to get to where I wanted to go, which would have been a D2, D3 school. And I would need to double that output to get to a D1 school for my athletic ability. Mm-hmm. I need to be, so.
A lot of it is hard work. My mom hit me with one of my most memorable and most, one of the moments where I was wow, that's actually a really good beneficial thing that you kind of just told me. And she said, whenever you get frustrated, don't let the frustration overwhelm you. Use the frustration for determination and channel it into an energy and into a positive what you're going to go and do. So don't let the frustration just eat you up. Use that energy and your determination to then make something positive happen. Instead of moping and blah 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 and doing all that. All that's great, but you're putting your energy in the wrong place. Right. It's wow, Mom, that was great. I don't know when she hit me with that. 11 years old.
Your mom did. Your mom was great at that type of stuff. But she was an athlete too as a kid.
Yeah, she played a ton of volleyball and swimming.
Yeah,
tennis. My dad baseball.
Yeah, your dad
basketball.
I can see your dad being a great baseball player.
Pitcher, shortstop.
Yeah,
you could sling it.
You could see him throw that rock around pretty well.
Yeah, dude.
He's got the temperament for it too. He got the temperament of a baseball player.
Mm-hmm. He loves the mental side.
Oh yeah, look at that guy. Toothless in the front. Hockey players have to have some of the worst looks, man. It's tough. All right. Well, that's a fun little thing we did there. We'll look into some of our sports lives and what's going on. And just reminiscing on some good old times here.
Good stuff.
Let's get back to the fader segment. 2 weeks ago, we went with the Buccaneers straight up. This Thursday night game is awful. It's Bears-Panthers. Thursday Night Football.
Yikes! So we're gonna skip on that.
We're gonna skip. There's nothing fun there for us to win, but I've been high on this hockey bet, so I'm wondering. We throw something out here for you guys, a little parlay, small one. We're gonna go with the Red Wings to win, Lightning to win, and Predators to cover. So take them in the spread.
We're gonna go parlay.
Parlay.
I mean, we're kind of cooking right now, so
let the boys cook here. A little hockey betting, what I'm doing is if you're ever doing a parlay, take the cover for an underdog, and for the person who's supposed to be favored, just take them to win. And that's all I've been doing.
And you've been red hot. And we've said it multiple times.
We don't know what the score of the Ducks game is, but we could just hurt this parlay based on the
16 parlay
tonight.
I don't even really. I read it just to see who we're betting on.
Right.
But I'm not like, hey, what do you think about this? And what do you think about? I'm like, unless you really ask me for it, like, I'm really not feeling the Penguins on this one. Like, what's your thought? I'm like, well, let's move away from them. Let's take the capital spread. Great. Let's go that direction.
Love that. That's fun little. So we'll see if this hit. I'm really excited to check the scores. Mm-hmm. You got anything for the people here?
Nah, buddy, let's wrap it up. It's good to be back. Better than ever.
The YouTube videos are coming. At some point here, we're gonna be selling some merch.
No, they are. It's all coming, baby. We got the hats rocking and rolling. I'm not wearing them tonight, but soon to be. They're on the way, in the works. We're just a little small company trying to do something a little bit bigger. So, good things don't come quickly.
Wow.
Let's really work at it here.
If hats are coming, merch is coming. You can find all these updates on our social. In the Cabbage and all major listening platforms, on all social media platforms. We're active. You'll see us. Should we be more active? Sure we could be. It's
a work in progress, baby.
We're a work in progress. We're in the Cabbage. And just a reminder, keep swinging.